Okay, got another game. This is one of those hands, and they happen a lot in this deck, which is a good way to model why a one-drop mana dark is very important to this build. This is a lot better, but if my opponent has any kind of removal for this Birds of Paradise, it will be difficult for them to know how valuable it is to remove this without looking at my hand. And this is mono red, so that is pretty terrible for us. Courser of Kruphix is going to help. I just pitched one, but we do have one. All right, so let's try this bird. Oh, Stoneforge keeps us alive. Now, Stoneforge mostly gets killed before I can even put the Batterskull in place, so I have to like bait out some removal first, I suppose. There might be a chance my opponent doesn't have a Searing effect and just wants to play creatures right now, which would be very good. Don't bolt it. Oh, Rift Bolt, good. Cool. So I am going to get through this one. Ghost Quarter, okay. Ghost Quarter is a great draw because now it allows me, or if there's something else, Horizon Canopy, not quite. Ghost Quarter allows me to play a land where I don't feel like I need to find white. Because if I only had Wooded Foothills, I'd want to crack for a white source in case this birds were to die. But I think this is where I want to be now. Oh, that is not the right mana. So this guy just might eat a removal spell. I mean, he very likely will. He's got to kill this creature, and he's got a Rift Bolt coming for him too. But it's going to take 2 to kill him. Yeah. And the question would be like, do I block if he attacks without doing anything to my Courser? Oh, here's a Helix. I think that Eternal Witness for Courser is pretty good. Hopefully I can draw a Path to Exile. That would be very good. Not a Path to Exile. I'm at 11. Now, Stoneforge Batterskull is obviously strong here, but with my opponent having 3 cards left in hand, there's bound to be some removal for it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lands here. I could play the 5th next turn and just hardcast the Batterskull. But that does seem a little lackluster in this scenario. Well, maybe we try it for science. I certainly don't want to be tapping Horizon Canopy or Fetch Shocking to do this. But I also want to make sure I have a dude in case it's necessary. Alright, we'll try it. And I think I want the Wooded Foothills out. I see the obvious interaction with like Tireless Tracker or Courser of Kruphix, but unfortunately for us, we don't really have time on our side to find a white source. Especially if this Birds of Paradise is on the way out. Ugh. I may just jump with this guy even. Yeah, I think I have to. Unless this is a Searing spell, then I'm just toast. Nasty. Four, five, six, seven. Oh, and there's the Rift Bolt to kill me. Yeah, so I guess I needed to keep the Birds of Paradise up as a chump blocker. I'm going down to 3. And I don't see any way to survive this. Night of Autumn would be okay, but it's only going to buy time. Not a Birds of Paradise. Okay, we're done for. Alright, I don't have a whole lot in my sideboard for this deck. I'd like to work some Core Firewalkers in here, though. Core Firewalker is very strong against burn, a little awkward in a deck that plays all of these colorless lands. This will help. This will help. This will help. Eidolon, believe it or not, actually slows him down quite a bit. We can cut Feast and Famine. Add Fire and Ice. Sometimes I shave on the Mana Darks in these matchups. But with that, I also have to cut some of the 3-drops. So Tireless Tracker can go. That's not doing us much good. Eternal Witness is not great. Aven Mindcensor can go. Oh, Collected Company is too slow. That's the problem. So let's get some Collected Companies the heck out of here. Engineered Explosives is so bad against burn. Maybe just a Collector Ouphe, honestly, so I have like a 2-power creature on turn 2 to block. Put the bird back in too. Interesting predicament we're in here. I think we need the explosives. As bad as it may be. If I have it in my opener, I can play it on 1 and then save it for Grim Lavamancer specifically, but all of his friends too. I have Blast Zone for that though, which helps. Very bad hand. Okay, so there's my Engineered Explosives on 1. And I've got Courser. This is doable. We're going to pitch that Gavony, though, that's for sure. Or do we pitch the Horizon Canopy, actually? I think we do that. Yeah, let's get rid of Horizon Canopy. We don't want to be damaging ourselves with that thing. Alright. Now, this is definitely not a card that I put in my sideboard thinking, oh, Engineered Explosives will help in the burn matchup. But in this case, this is such a bad matchup for us that we got to get a little creative. We only have 4 removal spells and 1 sort of Fire and Ice, so we have to utilize this for the same purpose. Because if this is a Goblin Guide, I don't have anything else to deal with that right now. Or a Monastery Swift Spear, for that matter. Oh, Collected Company. A cool trick you can do against Goblin Guide is, if I were to play a fetch land right now, this will reveal the top card of my deck, so I could decide what I want to draw for the next turn, or if I don't want to draw the card that's revealed. In this scenario, though, I want to play the Gavony so I can just harmlessly harmlessly crack my Engineered Explosives to kill it. So, like, say he attacks and I see, like, Birds of Paradise. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm going to crack my Windswept Heath. Path. Ooh, that's a good card. I think it's still time to do this, though. So Knight will be coming in as a 4/4. Ah, well, there's that. So, only 1 card in the graveyard right now. 4 cards in hand. Knight's a 4/4. This is tricky because I do want double green for Courser, but I want green-white for Knight of the Reliquary. So Knight of the Reliquary is like actually going to have to survive in order for me to cast this Courser. I think it's a necessary evil. Now, if this were Horizon Canopy at this point, I would have shocked myself twice. Or I would have 1 damaged myself twice, I should say. So if Swift Spear attacks, you know it's a trap. Here comes a Searing Spell. Not good. So the alternative was to play Path to Exile this turn. Probably was right, actually. But now if I find a mana, I've got Collected Company, which doesn't suck. Especially now that my opponent's graveyard is out. Ooh, that's a good one too. Now I could play Courser and Path to the Grim Lavamancer. I think that's what I need to do. Ick. Don't want that. I should have done this at upkeep. Because now he could double spell. Let's see. He's going to have to find 2 instants that cost 1 mana in order for that to work. Okay, good. So I didn't want him to have the untapped land for this turn. But I also don't want him to have the opportunity to play like bolt, bolt, and then remove the 2 bolts and 8 damage me. So this is a trap. Just 1. Okay. Huh. Nothing. Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. So I'm gaining 4 life. Or trying to. See if that sticks. It does. Okay, cool. So it's weird to see the Fiery Islet in that deck. I haven't seen one single Sunbaked Canyon, I don't think. Maybe I'm just not remembering correctly, but it's possible my opponent just doesn't have them. Ow. So Sword of Fire and Ice is really pretty risky, especially when it's broadcast that I'm going to be trying to do that, or I might be trying to do that. All it takes is just one carefully timed removal spell against my dudes, and I'm in trouble. There's a Sunbaked Canyon, okay. But if my opponent taps out, then that means the doors are open to equip this and go to town. Okay. That's a lot of Swift Spears. If that's a bolt in hand, I'm going to lose both of my dudes. It's a bolt. Oh, he's targeting me with it. Okay. Interesting. I thought, so if he targeted my Knight of the Reliquary, he could have killed that. Apparently that's not a priority to him. I think it should be, though. Oh, man. Not good. Not good. Let's see. 4. I'm at 4. This is not looking great for us. I think we need to crack. So we need to find another land. We have 2 chances to do it, which is good news. Come on. There it is. Ghost Quarter. Okay. Okay. Oh, and he concedes. Okay, cool. So we found the mana to Sword of Fire and Ice, pick off one of his dudes, draw a card, and go from there. And we also had an extra mana for a Noble Hierarch jump blocker. Just barely. Alright, I think we stick with the same plan. That Coco was pretty good to us. It's tempting to put in another, but definitely not on the draw against Burn. This is where that Collector Ouphe Grizzly Bear plan looks pretty good. It's probably better than a Ramunap Excavator, to be honest with you. Though Ramunap is a 2/3, which is statistically pretty good against the Burn deck. That shuts down my equips. That's too wild. We'll stick with this plan. You know what? Maybe that ought to be a Mindcensor, though. Okay. Well, this is an extremely slow hand. I think I need some earlier interaction. This will do. So turn 1, I've got Explosives. Turn 2, I've got Stoneforge if I want it. I think Shalai will be useful. This will be a good 7. No, the question is, can I get to Shalai? That's the real deal. Stoneforge is just likely to die. And I don't have the double green for Courser either. So that's a little wonky. Believe it or not, I think that's what needs to go. Shalai is really strong for the Burn matchup. It's too slow though. Alright, well, let's be real. That's what we're doing. Of course, my opponent kept 7. That's not a good sign. So the thing that this version of quote-unquote Maverick is missing from the Legacy version, oh, give me a forest, is Thalia. Thalia would be very good against Burn. Hey, there's the forest. I like it. Oh, cool. And a Lyra. This might work out for us. Let's see. He's definitely not going to be overcommitting the board to 1/1s on the board at this point. But there may not be a choice. Eidolon of the Great Revel. Okay, that's a card. Ooh, Knight of Autumn on top. I like that. Knight of Autumn is very functional here because it not only gains me life, it also kills an Eidolon of the Great Revel. Very good news. Alright, so I don't want to be shocking. I don't need Stoneforge at this point. I think I just need to blow up this Engineered. At this point, 4 damage for 1 mana has already occurred. But you gotta do the best you can. And it also has this extra measure of preventing additional Monastery Mentors from attacking me. So we're gonna play this and find a forest so that next turn we can gain some life with Courser. I'm going to be taking 3 from the whole scenario. My opponent's down to 1 card in hand, though. That's good news for us. Though we're getting ready to stabilize here. Not one of these lands is a Sunbaked Canyon, so that's good. This might be a Searing spell. Don't shock it. Don't shock it. Oh, shit. Okay. Fine. Okay. not the worst draw. I would prefer it was a mountain, but you can't have everything. It's definitely not, at least it's not a 3 damage spell, because that means that we'd be dead to another 3 damage spell. Okay, there's some more life gain, actually. I think the Courser is probably right at this moment. 3, 4, yeah. Courser's right now, but we'll be wanting to get that guy going soon too. Oops, what am I doing? Deal through this turn. I have accidentally conceded games doing that nonsense, so you gotta be careful. Path to Exile is a good draw. So if he attacks, I'm willing to call the bluff. Oh, he's not attacking. Very nice. Ugh. Do we play Stoneforge to shuffle our library? No, I don't think we do. Whoa, okay, just conceded. I don't think that was a gimme there. Being a burn opponent, I would have very much been interested in playing that game out, but he probably didn't know what my hand looked like, and the fact that I didn't have any other lands in it. A single fetch off the top would have been pretty strong. So, all right, well, we managed to get through a really tough matchup, so that was exciting. Let's go on to another.